Tanzania is one of the poorest countries with one of the lowest human development index in the world. Tanga region consists of 9 districts. It lies between the border of Kenya and Tanzania. Tanga is the poorest region in Tanzania, predominantly a Muslim populated area. The Pangani district, 7-hour drive from Dar es Salaam, is a coastal area famous for slave trades way back in the 18th century. However, today the poverty is still widespread. Droughts are common and shortage of food is persistent and severe. Poverty and lack of food has a disastrous effect on children, particularly those with no parents. More than 42% are malnourished and lack 2 meals a day.
Pangani district is one of the poorest and most deprived areas in the northeast region of Tanzania. These children don't have access to any education, healthcare or water. Their futures are at stake.
Poverty is so extreme that 85% of the families are surviving on less than $1 a day, making it hard to purchase anything. So every house you go to, you will not find food for the next meal. Typically, you'll find only 1 pot for cooking, 1 knife, no oil, no sugar, no tea in the majority of the houses. In 2015, only 2 people could manage to do Qurbani in the entire district. Only 4% of the rural population in Tanzania has access to electricity.
I'm in a remote village in Pangani, Tanzania, where due to climate change and environmental degradation, families have not been able to provide food for their children. Islamic Help is here providing their monthly food distribution to the most vulnerable and impoverished children. They provide rice, beans, and oil each month.
Poverty is at its extreme. The situation of water is even worse. Women and children daily travel miles and miles to search for water. Most of the people depend on rain-fed water dams and ponds, where animals and people drink together, which is causing a lot of disease. The need for fresh, clean water is very important.
District Pangani is one of the poorest yet most resourceful district. You have plenty of reserve forests, you have plenty of water, you have plenty of mangroves. There is huge potential for beekeeping, for fishing and for livestock. Unfortunately, still 85% of the people are living less than $1 a day.
Islamic Help has prioritized coastal regions of Tanga after conducting a number of thorough need assessments in all the regions in 2009, and based on the indicators of extreme poverty and the lack of infrastructure and development. Since 2010, Islamic Help has done a number of projects on sustainable livelihood, wash and food security, and therefore deep-rooted and trusted by all the stakeholders, including the communities and line departments. So Islamic Help is focusing on need-based, long-term and sustainable projects, mobilizing local resources and expertise. In livelihoods, we are promoting beekeeping, encouraging small-scale subsistent farming to engage in beekeeping, micro-enterprises, livestock restocking by providing goats, cows and poultry to the vulnerable and disadvantaged women. Furthermore, we introduce new breeds, artificial insemination and deworming. Also, we are supporting communities reliant on charcoal production to seek alternative livelihoods. More than 80% of the rural population relies on agriculture in Tanga. However, due to weather and unpredictability and reoccurring droughts, people facing acute food insecurity, for instance in 2016, the production of maize fell down by 80%. So in the time of critical crisis and drought, Islamic Help ensures food security through immediate food and seed distribution, reaching out to thousands of hungry and malnourished people. As long-term solution, food insecurity and droughts are occurring, Islamic Help is investing in agriculture. We provide small-scale farmers with free plough, certified seeds and training on modern agricultural practices, which lead to significant increase in maize yield. The situation of schools in the Pangani district is abysmal. For instance, out of 33 primary schools, only 5 have water. Only 6 have toilets. There is no furniture, no light, and no stationery. Islamic Help is providing wash facilities at schools, but there is a lot more to do, specifically for teachers in their training, improving learning and the environment, and introducing information technology. Primary health care is non-existent in most of the villages. Islamic Help is supporting government initiatives to protect populations from the killer malaria, as well as improving hospital facilities and conducting free campaigns for eye cataract surgeries. Responding to water scarcity is one of Islamic Help's biggest priorities. We have dug 130 deep boreholes providing clean, safe and accessible water to cover 70,000 people every day. However, we have been able to reach only less, perhaps 10% of that population so far.
We are the Maasai community from Pangani, and before we were drinking dirty water from muddy ponds. Our children were suffering from many diseases from unclean water, and we were drinking water sharing with animals. Today we have a well and we get clean drinking water, fresh drinking water every day.
We take a lead on innovative and self-sustainable solutions to orphans in the crisis throughout Africa. We take an example of our Children Eco Village project, which is an amazing example of eco-friendly and self-sustainable projects for orphans. Our seasonal Islamic projects are amongst the most popular with the community. We plan massive Ramadan food distributions, Qurbani campaigns and orphan sponsorship. In Ramadan 2017, we provided food to over 30,000 people. Our prices for Qurbani, Sadaqah and Aqiqah are one of the lowest in the world.
We are gathered here in some of the poorest places in Pangani, Tanzania. There are thousands of people that we've distributed Qurbani that have benefited from the Qurbani and the food distribution today. Cooked food, also food security when it comes to maize. In light of the recent droughts, they will have at least 2 months food supply.
The District Commissioner of Pangani, Tanga. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Islamic Help Tanzania. Has been very supportive, especially in building livelihoods of our people. The Beehive program, and currently we're expecting to have a tractor that will actually help different farmers to clear their plots. Pangani is currently facing a serious problem in water. And they've been building wells in different wards, in different villages, and at this time I think they're currently planning to build another 19 wells in different villages. They're playing a huge role in our country and in our region, and particularly here in Pangani.
Our projects are highly cost-effective, efficient and offer exceptional value for money. We avoid many costs and instead we build local capacities and rely on many skilled volunteers and seasonal staff to deliver our projects with minimum resources. We provide high quality feedback and reporting to our partner organisations using high-tech medic equipments like 4K cams, drone copters, where our donor organizations can see quantitative outputs and qualitative case studies. These are the most needy communities which deserve your support. Please support Islamic help projects for the lasting impacts on many people's lives.
I am here in one typical village of Tanzania, village called Kov. No light absolutely. School 7 kilometers away, water source 2 kilometers away, again the river water, health center again miles away, livelihood, no source of income whatsoever. Islamic Help is working in such a villages to improve people's life. Please continue to support Islamic Help.